ready for final thoughts?
Let's do our final thoughts on this game.
All right, boys. It is the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. Are we still allowed to call this that?
I think national media has kind of strayed away from doing that.
So they just call it Georgia, Florida?
The Georgia football Twitter account called it the world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Did they WLOCP it? Or did they actually word it out?
They abbreviated it, but
okay.
Well,
so abbreviations still count.
It's also, there's another nickname for it, the War for the Oar.
Oh, yeah.
Which, that's a fun one. It kind of rhymes. I like world's largest outdoor cocktail party more, but War for the Oar is fine as well.
War for the Oar.
Yeah. There's actually, it's a little known fact that this game is actually for the Okefenokee Oar. And the winning team gets a display. It's actually displayed in the Tate Student Center right now.
Is that because, never mind. I was going to make myself sound really stupid. Is that because Lewis and Clark rode down the Okefenokee and used an oar?
I doubt that.
I don't know. It's a swamp down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I need first and foremost about this matchup and about this rivalry in general? I need both of these football teams to be top 10 quality again. And I know this is a local hour, and most people listening right now are probably Georgia fans. But for me, as a football observer, as someone who loves football and particularly loves this weekend of football, it is my most look forward to week of the season every year because of multiple reasons, but it concludes in that football game. And I don't feel as if this football game has been top 10 teams going against each other on the verge of playing for playoff contention in a long, long time. When was the last time this matchup? I know it used to decide the SEC East. You brought to me 2020. Georgia had already been absolutely throttled by Alabama on the road in 2020. When was the last time this football game felt like it had national title, college football playoff caliber outcomes of it?
2020.
Yes, if you did not feel, we talked about this pre-show, and I can't believe you brought it up again. You had been throttled by Alabama on the road.
Correct.
And I believe that was your second loss that year. You were a 10-2 regular season football team.
You were a 7-2 regular season football team.
Yeah.
Florida handed you your second loss of the season. That was between two teams that were absolutely competing for the playoff.
2019?
Yeah.
2019. Georgia, at that time, Florida, both teams, I believe, were going to that one with just one loss each.
I still think 2020 was
It was 8 versus 6.
If you don't lose to Florida, you're a playoff team per chance.
So it's been 6 years since 2019 and 5 years since your argument.
Yeah, it's been half a decade since this game is.
I covered that 2020 team. I did not feel as if they were going to go win a national title. So that's just the way I felt about them. So anyways, doesn't matter. My point remains, I want this game to feel like it has the weight of the world on top of it, and it has not felt like that in quite some time. And even when it did, these teams feel like they overlap themselves with regards to their runs, right? Whether it be Urban being great and Mark being up and down, or whether it be Kirby being great right now and that program being up and down. I want this game to feel like it is the weight of the world on top of it because we love this weekend.
Yes.
We go down Friday night and we go to Valdosta and we watch the best high school football game you will ever watch in your life with regards to the environment and the caliber of football that is on display every single time we watch it. And then we go have the best pregame environment college football creates. There is not a bigger buzz going into a football game, no matter the outcome of it, no matter the stakes of it. That party is a party. And I can't imagine what it would be like if it was 1 versus 2. I cannot imagine what it would be like if it was 2 versus 3. For that matter, I cannot imagine what it would be like if it were Kirby versus Lane every year. I couldn't. So that's what I want. I want this game to feel like it's not, does Florida have a chance to make this a rivalry type football game? I want this sucker to feel like it's the biggest thing of the weekend. That's what I want.
Yeah, it definitely deserves to feel like that. And you're right, it hasn't really felt like that all that often. And it's kind of interesting because it's my lifetime it hasn't. In the last 30 years, it really hasn't. There's not been a lot of overlap where these two teams are great at the same time. I think the last time that ahead of outside of 2019 and 2020 was 2012. Other than that, it was two programs that were kind of trudging through the dark. So you're right. When this game does have college football playoff implications, and when it did have SEC championship implications, it did mean a whole lot more.
And the other final thought I have before we get into actual football final thoughts, for my listeners who might be a little bit more veteran, for my listeners who might be a little bit more on this earth a little bit longer, just know that C4s all right?
Oh, God.
They're not an alcoholic beverage. They are not for you. Jonathan and I were down there in Jacksonville last year, and we're walking around, having a good time, shooting some man on the street content, and we see these two young ladies dragging a cooler full of C4s. And they pull up on a lady who had to have been in her 70s.
I would say 70s.
Had to have been in her 70s.
No.
And gave her a C4 and walked off as if they didn't just hand somebody a nuclear weapon. Because that's what it is. I mean, I at 23, I feel like if I drank one of them things, I would crawl up out of my own skin and my heart would explode. Handing those to an older a person that is a little bit longer in the tooth, diabolical. Can't happen. Watch out. That's all I'm saying.
I've had one C4 in my life. This was probably 2 years ago, so I was 22 at the time. I felt like my skin was going to crawl off my body. I would never drink one ever again.
It's the beta-alanine, is what you said?
Alanine. Those things are not for human consumption. I can't believe that they were just advertising that. That's malpractice.
Willy-nilly. Just like, here, man.
You need a little wake up.
You look like you need a wake up. Yeah, I'd like to not meet my maker today.
My God.
Good Lord. As for the football, you better be prepared to be caught off guard by something they are doing offensively, right? This Florida offense, it was what it was under Billy. It had a lot of tendencies under Billy, and a lot of those are going to get broken now that he is not calling these plays. So you absolutely have to be ready for that. If I were Florida and if I were Georgia preparing for what they might do, I would be preparing for a lot of selective pace, meaning we get an explosive, let's hop right back on the ball and hunt another one. And I would be prepared for general aggressiveness to start the football game. I think when you have these types of turnovers, when you have these types of opportunities as interim football coaches or as first-time play callers or as whatever O'Hara's got a situation for to do, you got an opportunity to make a statement, right? You got an opportunity to have a flash chance right here. I think that's what I would be ultimately prepared for.
Yeah, I mean, despite the fact that Florida has fired their head coach and looks like they're just punting on the season, all that stuff, Florida would love nothing more than to add another loss to Georgia's record and potentially put them out of the playoff in regards to, they're one loss away from not being in the picture anymore. They would love nothing more than that. So what are they going to try and do? They're probably going to throw everything that they have at you. And these guys are going to be ready to play because, as we all know about rivalries, it doesn't matter what your record is. Both teams are going to show up ready to play. Both teams are going to show up ready to win as well.
I also think the other thing you obviously worry about right here, if you're a Florida fan, right, is how many opportunities can we get clean pictures for DJ? And how many times can we get hey, it's clearly a one-on-one over there, and that makes it easy. 3-step, one hitch, give my guy a chance. If I am Georgia, I am telling my guys, hey, y'all got to go beat the man until we can scheme an advantage over their plan. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're going to have to go out there and survive until we figure out what they're doing, guys, especially if they come out and empty, which I think a lot of people might expect from a first-time play caller. Just get out there, spread it out wide, make it easy for the quarterback, get him nice, easy looks.
Yeah, and another thing to take into consideration here, I don't think Billy Napier didn't want to beat Georgia. I also know that there's a lot of members on that staff. Billy Gonzalez is one of them. He was at Florida for the Urban Meyer years. He was at Florida for the Dan Mullen years. He has been at Florida for probably 40 to 50% of his career. This guy does not like Georgia and hasn't beaten them that much. There is probably that much more of an incentive among that staff nowadays to deliver a game plan that will throw some interesting wrinkles and throw some unique twists to try to beat this team.
By the way, y'all think C4 make your skin crawl? Y'all weren't around for Jack 3D. It's the people in the chat right now that are going to expose themselves as methamphetamine lovers like me, because that was what that was. Clinically. Like, it's not a joke. They found out it had methamphetamine in it. Wow. I had to stop giving it to people.
Nice.
Yeah. Baseball players and football players bought it up in like massive quantity and stowed it away as if it was like Quaaludes back in the day. Yeah. See? I got some Jack 3D lovers in the chat. First time I ever took that stuff, I put anybody in front of me. I got them. We'll take them right now. Stuff was crazy. Offensively for Georgia, I think there's a real opportunity for some explosive pass attempts. This football team, to me, Florida's defense, I feel like they expose themselves in corners for one-on-one opportunities far more than any football team y'all have played since, I would argue, Tennessee. They're not as much of a just keep everything in front defense. They're aggressive in play style. They're aggressive in opportunities for wide receivers, and I think that could expose them to a lot of explosive opportunities for Gunnar Stockton and this offense. I think the other thing is very important, and we learned that is an opportunity for y'all to do. Is something that is available to be done, which is hunt to start the football game like you did against Ole Miss. Now, I think everybody's preparing for unknowns on the offensive side of the football for Florida, but we don't necessarily know if they're going to do what other teams do to you guys, which is come out and play something totally different defensively. And if they do, that's one thing. But if they don't, if they come out and play their brand of football that they've shown on tape for the last 4 or 5 weeks, you need to hunt them. You need to get out and get to explosives like you did against Ole Miss, and you need to prioritize fast starts like you very obviously did against Ole Miss. It was cheat motion to a comeback, 9-yard completion, immediately on the ball, run for Nate Frazier, 1st and 10, flea flicker. Mm-hmm. That's the type of aggressive play calling that has to happen, not just this week, the remainder of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is going to be – as far as Georgia's offense versus a defense, not saying that you're going to see a similar performance, but I think it's going to feel very similar to how it did against Auburn in the sense of you're probably not going to find your explosive plays in the run game because Florida does a really good job of limiting those. But in the passing game, they rank 59th in the country for 20-plus yard passing plays. So you can't create those, and Georgia hunted those against Auburn. When they got those one-on-one matchups, it was a deep ball to Colby Young. It was a deep ball to Noah Thomas. It was a deep ball to Elias Williams. Those were the plays that you were hunting. I think you're going to see something very similar there. In regards to the run game, if you pick up 5 yards with Chauncey Bowens, that's a win. If you pick up 6 yards with Nate Frazier, that's a win. Don't be expecting that you're going to be ripping off these 12-yard plays, these 20-yard rushes. If you are picking up positive yards every single time in the run game, that's a win.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get these long gashing rippers, at least in the first half, because this Florida team I do think is going to come out motivated. And I agree with you to some extent that you want to be aggressive, but I also think that you're probably going to get a couple of feelers from Mike Bobo at first, just because there's so many questions about what this Florida team's going to do. Not as much on the defensive side of the football, but I think on the offensive side. I think that you will see them take shots, but I don't know if you're going to come out the gate swinging like you did against Tennessee and Ole Miss.
Yeah, don't need to fill out this defense at all, I don't think. I think you need to go out and get after them. Any other final thoughts? Somebody said, Jack, the 3D would have you deadlifting with your mind.
With your mind.
I want to learn how to blow shit up with my mind.
The last final thought I have on it is I know that the history of this rivalry game, especially the last decade pretty much, has heavily favored Georgia and has heavily gone the dog's way, so much so that it's somewhat become an afterthought of, we'll beat Florida this year. There was a time when Florida was an automatic L on your schedule, or I hope we can win that game. Don't come into this with the assumption that it's going to be smooth sailing, it's going to be easy, it's going to be a quick dub. Now, there are a lot of indicators that would say that Georgia is the more talented team. Georgia has all the advantages here. But don't come in with the arrogance of we should beat them by 30 points. It's going to be a closer game than people think, for a longer time than people think. I do think Georgia ultimately pulls away and wins this game by 2 scores, but I don't necessarily think that we're going to wake up at halftime and look and go, man, Georgia's already killing them.
You know what I'm excited for this weekend? First 3 deep walk and talk we've had since Tennessee. Good omen?
Might be.
I mean, you broke your curse.
Oh, there never was one.
So says you.
There never was one.
You did deny the curse, but
Bro couldn't save that yawn. Bro couldn't save that yawn.
What?
What? Hey, we had a great week of content this week on the network. We hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. I love you. We'll talk to you tomorrow live, or actually not live, post and uploaded Saturday morning from the sideline of Valdosta. Hey, folks, want to take a quick moment to give a shout out to our friends over at Ridge. You guys know me, whether it be due to my busy habits and daily schedules, or whether it be to my ADD brain forgetting to plug my phone in at night. I need to constantly have assistance with regards to keeping my phone alive. Ridge does a great job with their power bank. Not only that, got an elite kickstand right there for you guys that like to watch videos or maybe have your phone sitting and chilling throughout the day on your desk like I do. Not only that, that power bank is absolute money, as are these sleek wallets that they have available over there on Ridge. Ridge.com. ridge.com/Brooks10. Again, ridge.com, promo code Brooks10 will get you 10% off your first purchase over there at ridge.com. We appreciate those guys for not only keeping this phone alive, but supporting this network as well. Ridge.com, promo code Brooks10. Hey, we'll take a quick minute to give a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. What a great time to be here on this network this year, but also a great time to be with our friends over at Sleeper. Go over to Sleeper today, the #1 place for daily fantasy and prop plays. Sleeper Picks is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick more than or less than the predicted stats. It's that simple. On Sleeper, you can get up to 100x payouts. Share with your friends and get rewarded today. Use promo code Brooks, as you see on the screen, on Sleeper and get 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, that's sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Terms and conditions apply. Boys, as you know, we're about 28 minutes at the time of this ad read from the kickoff of NFL Sunday. So go ahead, run over to Sleeper right now. I'll give you permission to leave the stream actively. Go over to Sleeper, get a play in right quick, and get paid. We appreciate those folks over there at Sleeper. Again, that's promo code Brooks over there on Sleeper.